Hey guys. So hopefully I'm loud. I greatly apologize about that. Of course my phone wants to die and freeze up. So part 2 of gotcha. So I just want to make sure that we are live. Just give me one quick second. Um but if you're catching it this time, then be sure to catch part 1 so that you can catch up as to what I'm talking about. And yeah, we are live. And so I just want to make sure that we are share to. And yeah, so yeah, just want to go ahead and I hope I don't lose my train of thought about where I was. But yeah, one this is a continuation of the why I stopped exercising, and you should too. So if you didn't catch the first part, go ahead and catch it because it's a gotcha. And then my name is Sequoia Ashe Taylor, again, of Ashe Wellness, for those who are catching this and someone may share. Remember, if you're watching live, um, you can say live or chat, and then if you're watching a replay, put hashtag replay. And then if you believe this message need to be shared, share both parts. I'm going to see if I can like include both of them to kind of do something to but they're like, this is that part 1 was the intro, I guess, and then this is me more explaining. But like I was saying, once I got my results back for my labs, and I was able to see like what was going on with me, and I was able to start doing my protocol that was based off that, right? So a lot of the things that I was doing was actually stressing my body. So again, like I said, I think I was talking about like how I had to cut things out from what I was eating, such as dairy. And I don't do a lot of dairy anyway. It was mainly like certain cheeses. I would put on like stuffed bell peppers, or sometimes inside my cucumber and feta, I would add like mozzarella or parmesan. So I had to cut out a lot of those things. And then I also like the exercise. I had to stop doing the strenuous exercise. So, as far as like my sleep, I had to start going back and make sure that I was getting my proper sleep so that my body can replenish, rejuvenate, and revive itself while I was like getting proper sleep, so that I could start to do the process of healing myself from this. Because I think I may have had problems with it before, but it never got this point this bad where I felt like my stomach was actually on fire. Like, and then I started having the sluggishness. I was having the fatigue. I was having the brain fog. I would talk to someone and we would talk about something, and or the kids, and they were like, "Mom, you don't remember talking about that?" I'm like, "Oh Lord, wait a minute now. Let me get some crossword puzzles or something because it's too soon. It's too early." But I just remember there was a lot of, like I said, was related to my adrenals and stuff like that, my gut health. It was just like I was going the stress. It was stress, and that's why I really push and promote and tell you guys that the stress management is key. Everything that you do, even eating, is a stressor to the body. Sleeping is a stress. Everything is a stressor to the body because stress is anything that is causing a force of friction to be doing outside of homeostasis, right? And so, like, you can have eustress, distress. It could be like fight or flight. Those things are stressors to the body, and so you just have to be mindful of that. And so, even with like things like my supplementation, I had to change some of the things that I was taking for supplementation just so that I could make sure I was getting proper, vitamins, minerals, amino acids, so that I can make sure that I was like doing the healing process. So not only like eradicating and get rid of things that were like bad, I had to go ahead and start compounding back on and building it back up. And so, with that being said, I know I was like, hey, I stopped exercising. Yes, I stopped exercising the way that you guys have saw me exercising. And I really don't really post videos that much on public page. We'll start by doing that soon. My post workout, I do that inside of my like private groups and stuff like that. But I'll start back doing it on my public page soon. But I had to start, as far as the exercise, I had to stop doing that like MMA style fighting or the dance, or the more I was doing so much movement, and had to start doing stuff that was more like a barre blend, or which is more like a or yoga, or doing like more of the meditation workouts, or doing more like tai chi, right? I even did that a couple times. I was like, okay, I kind of like this. It's slow movement. I'm gonna pace my body that self. And not only did it help with to start helping with, like, it was still the movement where my body was able to get exercise. My body was able to actually start. It was a form of like stress relief. And not saying that the other like the doing MMA and the boxing and the kicking wasn't stress relief, because trust me, it was, right? But it was a different type of stress relief when my body was actually being soothed by it instead of being revved up. Sometimes your body does need the revving up, or that for your metabolism and for your energy levels and things of that nature. But I needed to calm my body down because it was inflamed. My gut was inflamed, and my hormone like levels and my melatonin was off. It like everything was just a hot mess, which again, not surprised, right? And so me being able to do that, it was able to allow me to do those type of things. And so I was doing that, and like even like adding it right after my meditation time. And so I was able to do that, to be more in tune with myself, to heal those things that were maybe not always something that was something physical, right? The physical results, but then mentally, having a few minutes to gather my thoughts. The kids are starting back with school now, so like, and they were at home, and my total schedule has changed, and getting back to the groove of things, getting into the height of what the next phase of what are we doing for business. My body needed that. It needed to be able to calm down a little bit. It was on fire, literally. So, those are type of things. So where I got that question a couple times, so that's why I'm doing this Tell It Tuesday. In regards to, hey, are you still working out? Are you still exercising? I don't see you like post your videos. Did you quit? No, I know of that video, so gotcha again. If you didn't catch that, where it says that why I stopped exercising and you should too. The reason why I say that is that it's not that you should stop exercising. It's not that you should not move your body. It's not that you should not get your fitness in. It's the type of fitness that you may have to do. It's how many times. Like where I went from like maybe 5 or 6 times a week. Now I do 2 to 3 times a week, right? And I mix it up. So I may do something, and then it helps with my flexibility. That was another thing too. A lot of those things are like toning, and I was so focused on toning and losing muscle thing. Kind of doing better with that arms and stuff, and you like losing gut and losing weight and like toning and those type of things definitely accomplished that. But then it also helped me with like doing it this way, where I had to do more of those slower moving programs and stuff like that, and more of the like basically like ballet. And that junk is worse than you think. Don't sleep on that barre blend and stuff like that. Don't get that twisted. That is some like next level. I don't see how ballerinas and people who do that gymnastics and stuff, how they do it. But it's allowing me to help also with my flexibility. So whereas before I was gonna just do a jab and a kick and a punch and all that, now I'm able to stretch muscles. I'm able to stretch tendons. I'm able to hold poses and deep breathe and relax and do those type of things. So still doing exercise, just not doing exercise the way that I really want to, because I like doing that. I like kicking and punching and dancing and learning those skills and stuff like that or whatever. But it was not a good time to do that because those are causing extra stress in my body. So when I say that I'm not exercising, and why you should too, I am exercising. And the reason why I say that, and maybe you should stop too, maybe you should stop doing the strenuous workout, right? Now I'm just not telling you that, like, listen, this is the disclaimer. Do not go and say, hey, she said I got to start working out because of this and this and this and this. At the beginning of this conversation, check part 1, I said I was having certain symptoms. I did the test, and then I started to distress the mess, which allowed me to create protocols, which allowed me to be able to help myself in that way, right? And so it's not just something that I'm just saying, like, for those people who are like, okay, here's an excuse that I needed to not get up and work my body out. That is not what you're going to hear. That's not what you're hearing from this video. This video is not to say, oh, just stop working out. No, because you still need to move your body. It's other things that you can do. This video is just to educate you that sometimes the amount of workout that you're doing, and sometimes the way you're doing the workout, could be making other stuff flare up and do those type of things as well, right? So if you're having stresses on the body and you're having symptoms like some of the stuff that I was having, it wasn't conducive to doing that. Now, with that being said, now that I've been through the period of calming down the inflammation, then now that I've been through the period of kind of doing the detox and eradicating, now I can go back to those workouts. But because I did not stop working out, it's not going to be an uphill battle, because it was like, okay, well, now I got to start off from zero. No, now my flexibility is better. Now my mindset is better. Now me being able to do, like I said, doing some Tai Chi and all those kind of things, able to like bring my mind center, I believe it will help my workouts, right? And so it will make it enhance. So when I get ready to go ham this next time, like, I'm going to go ham 2.0. Like, I'm going to really get in it, and my results will be better because my mindset will be better. And there's also programs that are going to be coming out where we focus more on your eating, more focus on you being more mindful. Like, the one thing that I've learned through this process is to be more mindful and pay attention to my body. Like, I didn't need someone to be like explaining this stuff to me and telling me, like, trust me, like, I don't, even though I said I was doing like detective work and I got the lab works myself, I actually had a coach who actually went over my results with me I actually had consults. I have a coach as well, so that I'm not just like, oh, well, that looks obvious to this. You all, I need another set of eyes because it was me, right? And so they're able to tell me different things that I'm looking at. I'm like, hey, that number doesn't look right. Well, in your opinion or your expertise opinion, what did you think as well? So even the wellness practitioner has a wellness practitioner. Like it does. I don't understand what people don't understand that concept of like, oh, you just treat it. No, I have people that consult. I have a wellness practitioner as well. But it was like cool. We are like more like the peers. We're able to talk to each other and do that type of stuff as well. To be able to get the information, because even if you research and do this stuff that you think you're doing yourself, I promise you will miss it. It's certain things on labs that I'll look at and see, and I'm like, okay, that's what I thought. And you sometimes assume because you've seen that case 100 times, and it's different for each person because each person is different. What's stressing me is not stressing you. What's stressing you may not. I may be like, girl, bye, that ain't even important. And you may think like my world is ending, and I'm like, that's something small. So everybody's going through life and holding life and traveling through life and processing life completely different. That's why not only your physical body is different, everything about you is different, and that all has to be a big part of this puzzle and this piece when we're talking about our wellness. You can't just say because Suzanne was going through this and her stuff showed up this way, I'm going to treat Barbara the same way. You're not, because Barbara is totally different. Barbara may be having stress from A, B, C, D, F, G, and Suzanne having stresses from something else. And their bodies may be showing similar things, but the way they're doing it, what part is what we call metabolic chaos, where they're on the spectrum. And somebody may seem like they're doing good and could be on the verge of like a split hair of being into a complete crisis, right? And because their body may be able to hold it well, or they've been suppressing it, but then when they snap and it goes to the like rock bottom, right? We all know people who are like this. And so that was the purpose of me doing that. And so no, to the people who have been asking me questions on this Tele Tuesday, no, I did not stop completely working out. I just stopped working out in the way that you guys saw me showing up like rigorously working out, the heavy sweat. Now look, that sweat game still be sweaty. Like I keep waiting on somebody to explain this to me about the sweating. But the sweat game is still real. Even doing like less impact workouts, such as like I said, the Tai Chi, doing more like the meditation, being more mindful, being mindful of what's going on with you, being mindful of what's going on with your body, being mindful of like, hey, this doesn't seem right. I notice over time I'm being sluggish. I notice over time I'm not getting sleep. I notice over time I'm like the foods I was able to eat that 3 weeks ago. What is going on? Or am I having discomfort here? Distended bloating. If you have chronic bloating, that is not just a one-time gas. If you eat something, you have gas, or you cabbage or something, have bloating, that's different. But if you have constant bloating, if you have constant problems with your hormones, you have constant problems with your sleep, these things are not just something that they're going to go away. At this point, when you see that, that is a symptom. And it's a sign that something else is going on, and which means if you're seeing it at that level, like me, when by the time I actually was able to notice and pay attention to that my gut was inflamed, it was like high inflamed. So I had to go deep dive to go to 3 and 4 different levels to say, oh, okay, these combination of things, not only just outside stressors, you have internal stressors that are doing things, and especially people who have like gut bugs or you have like leaky gut and things of that nature. Those things are well, like when you sleep or you don't get proper sleep, those things act up and do what they want to do when you sleep or not sleep, right? So all those things are a combination of those things, and like a combination of one another, and they all correlate together because of this. And you go another layer and it's because of this, and you like aha. But I had to stop guessing, because I could have guessed and just said generally I could just do this right here. I could just do this right here. You think it's this, and then it's like, okay, well, what is that going to solve? Getting a diagnosis is not always like the most important thing if you're not going to have solutions to be able to solve it. And so the call to action is that, hey, you guys, if you know that you need the assistance to say, hey, I know something is not right. If I'm a woman and I know that these things are not right, I feel sluggish, I have brain fog, the meals that I'm eating is like I'm having discomfort, the things that I'm doing, with my sleep, the things I'm like, even my exercise, I'm not having results that I thought I should have. I'm holding on to weight even though I think I'm doing these right things, right? I tried this fat potion lotion pill. I'm stressed out and I think I'm managing, but girl, like I'm living life and I really don't know how to maybe take that to the next level. Those are things that that have been happening. We don't have to confirm and affirm that for what's been going on. But then you just need another set of eyes on it. You need someone else on the outside to be able to walk you through those things, to confirm and affirm them for you, so that you can get the results and benefits that you need. And so it's always about making changes. I make changes to my protocol all the time. And that's why I'm not a stickler like being labeled. Are you pescatarian? Are you a vegan? Are you vegetarian? Do you eat? I'm like, I just do my body tell me to do when you need to do it because it changes. And sometimes when you like start the process of healing, creating those, establishing and maintaining those healing habits that we talk about, sometimes those things will like show up something else, right? You'll start saying, man, I feel better here. My brain fog is clearing up, but you know what? Like, I really can't like wake up. I wake up tired. Well, did you notice that before? Well, no, because like the brain fog was so, my hormones was all over the place, girl. I ain't know nothing about that. That's what you have a lot of times where you have the second thing that comes up, or this fourth thing, like four or five things have been going on, but whichever one is like the most pressing and screaming the loudest. So if you broke your leg or you're bleeding, the first thing I'm going to do in the health profession is stop the bleeding, right? Then we'll worry about the broken bone. And so that's what we talk about, like consulting the concern and coaching the lifestyle. You have to be able to like get the blame thing out of the way. So just wanted to come and share that with you guys. Again, if you did not catch part one, please catch part one. Sorry about that technical difficulty, but we're gonna press on and press play. So again, this is a recap. Was a Tell It Tuesday where I talked about why I stopped exercising, and you should too. But the gotcha was that I did not stop exercising completely. I stopped exercising the way that you guys had saw me exercise, and that was more strenuous to my body and how and why I did that. So, if you have any questions, if you know you need to talk to me, you can definitely inbox us, and you can definitely go ahead and Oh, she said yes, yes, definitely paying attention to your body. You have to, because it is imperative. Because, like I said, I can have chats with people, and they say, "Hey, I feel this way." I'm like, "Girl, me too," but then we'll get lab results back, and you're like, "But your stuff say something totally different than mine." But both of us was right here having mood swings, or your stuff say something totally different than mine, but my gut was hurting like yours. Or I'm having brain fog and fatigue, and we could do symptoms all day long. We could talk about these symptoms and compare them all day long. But what is the solution when it comes to you? And how do we create protocols and stop guessing about stuff to make it so that it's beneficial for you, so that you create and establish and maintain those healing habits that help you to be healthy and happy. Ta-da! So thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in again. Like, sorry about that technical difficulties. If you have any questions about this, you can put them in these comments. I will, myself or someone from my team will definitely get those questions so that we can answer them. If you have questions, you can definitely inbox me. You can schedule a consult with us, or what we call discovery calls, to figure out when, where, how, and all the stuff that you need to figure this stuff out, because definitely you could definitely like stop some of the guessing and start to figure these things out. So wanted to come and talk to you guys about that, because yes, somebody did ask me that. Actually, a couple people did ask me that in my actual inbox, like, girl, you stop working out and all this kind of stuff. So had to give the explanation as to why that. So decided that we'll make that the Tell It Tuesday. So remember that we have Ashe. I have the power to change and make things happen, and so do you. I hope you guys have a great day, and talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.